Hello guys, my name is Sergey, I'm a freediving instructor trainer, and today again we're going to talk about freediving theory. We start with a little repetition. On the last session we discussed that the main reason why we want to breathe in while we're holding our breath is a high level of carbon dioxide, not low level of oxygen. We also discussed the typical steps on freediving breath holds. We discussed that we start with a relaxation breathing, then we do a big breath in, we're holding our breath, and when we stop holding our breath, we do our recovery breath. And we talk about arch to breathe, and that arch to breathe, it is connected with a high level of carbon dioxide. So usually I continue from that to explaining my students that they don't need to be afraid of strong contractions. So the philosophy of our school, the way how we teach our students, is that we try to stay as much as possible within the comfort zone. So if, let's say, you divide your breath hold into two parts, and part number one is a relaxation zone, and part number two, it is after contraction zone. It is when you're struggling a little bit and you're pushing a little bit yourself to reach some goals. Then I'm explaining my students that most of the time during the first level course we're going to stay within these limits. We maybe experience the contraction, maybe one or two, but we're not going to hold our breath with the strong contractions. And actually the same for the level 2. For level 2 we also gonna try to stay within this limit, and again maybe just slightly experience the contractions. And only on the level 3, whereas still our focus still on the relaxation part, we're gonna be maybe slightly more into this zone, because again for the level 3 course the requirements is pretty hard. This is why we have to step inside this zone. But my strong belief that both level 1 and level 2, by the way, we've done the video about how level 1, how we're teaching level 1 in our school, so the link is going to be description and somewhere here. I strongly believe that on level 1 and level 2 our students have to be in this zone. Why I'm thinking so? Because this is a correct way, in my opinion. This is why we're teaching this way. Like in any sport, in any activity, there is a fundamental skills, and in freediving fundamental skills is a relaxation. So if you learn how to properly relax, then you can stay within this zone. You can enjoy much more this process of holding your breath more easily. Of course there is this part, and then if, let's say, you're finishing whatever freediving course you're planning to do, when you finish it and then you want to train and you want to, for whatever reason, achieve some bigger numbers in your static or in your dynamic or in depths, then more likely you're gonna step inside this zone. But again, don't rush your progress. Don't step in this zone too early. Don't step in this zone too often. So again, in my opinion, most of your training, again, if you're a beginner or intermediate freediver, most of your training should be within this zone. And what you're going to train your relaxation, you're going to train your technique. If you're talking about dynamic, there is a tons of technique. If you're talking about static, there is also technique how to be relaxed, right? So what is a better body position, etc., etc. So you mainly want to stay in this zone. And this is why when I see the questions on the internet, like how I can handle my contractions longer, and there is some videos how to handle your contraction longer, then my question is, like, why you're not thinking how to improve your no contractions time? I've done the video about no contraction static table, and in my opinion that is one of the best way how to train for the beginner freedivers. You can find again the link in the description for this static table. It is when you're training always staying with this zone. If you're coming back for level 1 course, like I said, the most of the time you're going to be here. But you're going to experience a few contractions. And why I still want my level 1 students to experience a few contractions, that I want to show them that contractions doesn't mean that you are close to the dangerous situation or something like this. So how we do it? Usually when we finish the theory in a classroom, we do a couple of breath holds in a classroom. Of course, the main breath hold training is going to be in a pool and in open water, in the ocean, but we do a couple of breath holds in a classroom. So let's say first breath hold, they do relaxation breathing, they hold their breath, and as soon as they feel any discomfort, they allow it to stop. So they stop, they do recovery breath, and then I'm asking them, so what was the reason why you stopped your breath hold? And then we do the second time, same, they do relaxation breathing for a few minutes, breath hold, and then when they have a contractions, when they have an urge to breathe, when they have uncomfortable feeling, they show me some signal, and then hold maybe 5 seconds more. And then again recovery. And then I'm asking them again, why you stop holding your breath? And the reason why I'm asking them all the time why you stop holding your breath, it's not because like I desperately need this reason. For me, I know what is the reason. But the reason why I'm asking is that I want my students to really understand their body, right? Because for example, sometimes the answer sounds like, I stop my breath hold because I feel I need oxygen. And again, this is not possible. You're not feeling that you need oxygen. Or there is another question like, I'm stop breath holding because I'm feeling I'm gonna die. Of course you're not gonna die. You're not gonna feel. You're not feeling this. So I want my students is recognize how their body react for the higher level of the carbon dioxide, and what is the reaction, and to be calm with these reactions. I want to still them have these contractions, and for the next few seconds, maybe 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, still be relaxed. You have a contractions, but you still relax. Contractions means that your respiration muscles contracted, right? So intercostal muscles, diaphragm, now not relax anymore, but this is fine. It is not the reason why, let's say, your face should be tense. Your face should be still relaxed. Your shoulders still relaxed. Everything can relax. Okay, somewhere in your respiratory system, some tension, so it's fine, but all the rest of the body should be relaxed. And then my students, like again, another example. Let's say my student holding the breath, looks relaxed, whether in a classroom or in open water, let's say in a classroom, holding the breath, looks relaxed, but then as soon as the first contraction starts, the student stops holding the breath. Okay, I'm asking what is the problem? And the student saying, like, I feel uncomfortable and this is why I stop holding my breath. Okay, sounds like a good reason. But then I use the example, okay? Maybe it's going to be a little bit silly example, but still. I use the example like this. Imagine you are traveling in a bus, like in a public bus. You're traveling in a bus between point A and point B. And before you reach your destination, like 10 minutes before, you have the feeling that you want to go to the toilet, right? You're like, oh, I want to go to the toilet. Uncomfortable sensation, yes. What are you planning to do? So let's say 10 minutes left for your destination, 10 minutes left for your before your bus stop, and then you have a feeling that, oop, I want to go to the toilet. I'm pretty sure that your reaction is going to be, I have to wait, right? You're not going to do your business in the bus, right? This is not acceptable if you're a grown-up person, right? So you're going to handle it for a while. Is it going to be comfortable? No, it's going to be slightly uncomfortable. But are you going to make it? For sure. So the same you can apply for the urge to breathe. You have an urge to breathe. You feel uncomfortable, yes. But can you handle 5 seconds more? Of course you can. Of course you can. Just remind yourself that this is just carbon dioxide. This is not low of oxygen. Oxygen is still normal. Just a little bit higher carbon dioxide level. And again, when you finish holding your breath, when you finish experience these contractions, then you do recovery. And so how we do recovery? Again, last time we discussed that it can be with a hook breathing or without hook breathing. For the simplicity, I recommend you to start with just normal. So for example, when you're holding your breath, and when you finish, It's still a little hook breathing, like a second, but this is enough. I think this is a good way to start, right? In the future, if you want to change, you can change it. Okay guys, this is it. This is we were talking a little bit more about our relationship with the contractions for the first level. Like I said, I prefer and I strongly recommend, if you're a beginner freediver, don't have a contraction. Stop your breath hold as soon as you have a contractions. And then in the future, when you have some experience, when your relaxation get better, again, how to do no contractions table, you can find the link in the description. Then you can experience a few contractions. Maybe like after contractions you can hold your breath for 5 seconds more or for 10 seconds more. But what I want from you is for these 5 or 10 seconds you're not tensing up, right? You have a contractions, and what you're doing opposite from what you want to do. You're completely relaxing. You have a contraction, you have an urge to breathe. As your reaction, you completely relax. You relax more. You check the muscles on your face, check the muscles around your eyes, and you try to be more and more relaxed. Okay guys, this is it. If you like my video, don't forget to click the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to do it, and I will see you next time.